Welcome back, all you beautiful people, to another week of SEC football picks. Welcome to the Touchdowns to Home Runs SEC Weekly Pick Show. I'm your host, Noah. And guys, I'm sorry, I usually post this on Sunday, so that would have been yesterday. Today, when I'm filming this, is Monday. I don't know when you're watching this, but whenever you are watching this, I hope you're having a great day. But we had big news for my South Carolina Gamecocks yesterday, which was the main reason I didn't post my picks yesterday, and that was that our head ball coach, Will Muschamp, had been let go by the University of South Carolina. And nothing personal towards Will Muschamp. He's a great guy and everything. But I was really ecstatic because we did not play good football for the last bunch of years. And I'm just ready to move on and get a new offensive-minded coach in Columbia and to start winning ball games. So that's where I was yesterday. I'm sorry. I got my Bears playing tonight, so I can't wait for that one. I'm going to be posting my Bears post-game show later tonight. So if you haven't already, definitely subscribe and stick around for that video. But let's get into SEC this week. But before we do that, let's take a look back on what was last week, and that was week 8 of SEC football. Tons and tons of postponements. Georgia, Missouri, Texas A&M, Tennessee, Auburn, Mississippi State, and of course the Alabama LSU game all canceled. We had Kentucky beating Vanderbilt by only 3 points, 38-35. The whole thing with the offensive line coach passing away due to cancer, I'm pretty sure. And for the first play, they had no one, and I'm pretty sure it was left guard. They had no one at left guard. That was amazing. It's good to see. My thoughts and condolences out to his family and all the Kentucky fans, because that's a huge loss for them. Next up, we have the Florida and Arkansas game. Kyle Trask, Heisman. Holy crap, what a game for him. Florida fans, if you haven't already, I'm going to drop it down here. Go get the Kyle for Heisman shirt right now that I have in my merch store. And below that, it says in brackets, don't care which one, because, of course, you had the best tight end in college football and probably the best quarterback now. Trevor Lawrence fans are going to be killing me after I said that one. But go get the shirt now. Go rep it around Gainesville, because it is an amazing shirt, and I want to see you guys in it. Rep your quarterback, because he is a phenomenal football player. Florida won 63-35, and they are in complete control of the East. You will be seeing them in Atlanta very soon. I'm pretty sure December 19th, you will be seeing the Florida Gators and Alabama Crimson Tide in Atlanta. And then lastly, my Gamecocks traveled down to Oxford, Mississippi to take on the Ole Miss Rebels, and it was a good offensive game for us. We hadn't scored over 40 points all season, so it was good to see the offense get rolling. Kevin Harris, my gosh, what a game for him. 5 rushing touchdowns for him alone. He's a beast. Leading rusher in the SEC right now. Love Kevin Harris. Shi Smith caught a touchdown pass too. One-handed touchdown pass. That was an amazing catch. Ole Miss, our defense got absolutely torched by Matt Corral and Elijah Moore and Kenny Yeboah and Ely and all the other guys on that team. Their offense is lethal. Lane Kiffin is doing something really special down there in Oxford, and Ole Miss was able to win this one 59-42. So that was our recap of last week, but let's get into this week because we have some more good games. SEC football, any Saturday that there is SEC football is always going to be a good day, and that is nonetheless about this week. So let's get into it. Starting off at 12 o'clock, or just before I even get started on this game, I have to note the big postponement of the CBS game. This just got announced recently, like just before I made this video. Ole Miss, Texas A&M, that was actually supposed to be a really good game. I was actually really excited for that game. Has been postponed. That game was supposed to be in Texas A&M. Texas A&M, the number 5 team, and Ole Miss coming off of a really hot offensive performance against South Carolina. So that game had some potential in it, and it was for a reason. CBS chose that game for a reason. Sadly, that game got postponed. But at 12 o'clock on SEC Network, we have LSU versus Arkansas. This game is coming to you from Arkansas, Fayetteville, Arkansas. I like the Razorbacks in this game. I'm going to say it straight off the bat. I don't think LSU's played a game since they got absolutely smacked at Auburn. Arkansas has been playing some really good football. They beat Tennessee. They lose to Florida, although it was a decent game for them. They put up 35 points. Florida's offense is lethal. It was going to be a tough task for that defense to hold them all game. So I don't blame Arkansas's defense there, but especially against an LSU team who's struggling on both sides of the ball right now. It showed in that last Auburn game, and this game is in Arkansas. Doesn't matter that there's not full capacity fans. It's shown this season all over in the SEC that the home team is always favored to win unless the other team is significantly better. If it's a toss-up game, which in my opinion, this one is a bit of a toss-up game. Even if it was in LSU, I'd give the edge to Arkansas. But since that this game is kind of a toss-up game, I'm giving it to Arkansas hands down, especially from what I've seen from Arkansas is good football, and what I've seen from LSU, not so good football. So give me the Razorbacks in this one. 12 o'clock on ESPN. This game isn't really tough to pick at all. We have number 6 Florida Gators at Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt did only lose to Kentucky by 3 last week. Vanderbilt is getting better as a football team, even though they haven't won a game this year. But the sad thing is that they are going up against the 6th best team in the country. And in my opinion, a team that should definitely be in the playoffs. One of the best offenses that you're going to see in all of college football right now. You're going to be going up against one of the best quarterbacks in all of college football in Kyle Trask and the Florida Gators. Even though this game is in Vanderbilt, it doesn't matter. They don't have fans there, I'm pretty sure. This game is a write-off in my opinion. I hate saying games are write-offs because I know for sure when I look down at my phone on Saturday, it's going to be like, oh, Vanderbilt, Florida tied at halftime. But in my opinion, this game's a write-off. Florida is going to take care of business here. As long as they stay mentally focused, I don't see a single way that the Florida Gators can lose this football game. So give me Florida over Vanderbilt in this one. Next up, 4 o'clock on SEC Network, we have Kentucky visiting Alabama. This one, again, in my opinion, kind of a write-off. The game's in Alabama, and Kentucky played really poorly against Vanderbilt last week, only winning by 3. Alabama is the number 1 team in the country for a reason. They've played the best on offense. They're probably the best offensive team in the whole country right now. Their defense is slowly getting better, even though it took a slow start at the beginning. The defense has finally figured themselves out, and they are starting to play well. So, in my opinion, this game also is kind of a write-off. Alabama's going to take care of business in this game, no question about it. They are not going to lose to home against Kentucky. I don't see it. I don't see it if they play this game 10 times. I don't see it if they play this game 50 times. Maybe 100 times Kentucky could squeak out a win or two, but give me Alabama in this one, hands down. I'll take the home team here. I'm taking the Crimson Tide. 7 o'clock on ESPN. This one's a very interesting one, too. We got Tennessee visiting Auburn. This one's coming to you from Jordan-Hare Stadium. Can't wait for this one. This one's actually very interesting because Auburn hasn't played since the big win against LSU at home. Tennessee's last game, I'm pretty sure, was versus Arkansas, which was a game that they were leading and that they would have won if it hadn't been for a third quarter. I think Arkansas scored like 21 points in that quarter. That's where Tennessee blew that game. So Tennessee has the capability to win ball games. But again, like I've said, what has the SEC shown this season in games that are kind of toss-ups like this one? Auburn is a ranked team. Auburn, in my opinion, is the better team here, and it's at home. Always give it to the home team. Bo Nix, Seth Williams, Anthony Schwartz, all those guys seem to figure out the passing game last game. So I do not want to pick against that. And the defense only allowed 11 points to LSU, and one of those touchdowns was a late fourth quarter touchdown. So I really like where Auburn's at right now in this season, even though that they got off to a slow start. So give me the Tigers in this one. I'm taking the Tigers over the Volunteers in this one. 7:30 on SEC Network, we had the Mississippi State Bulldogs versus the Georgia Bulldogs. The Battle of the Bulldogs coming to you from Athens, Georgia. Georgia hasn't played a game since they lose to that huge loss to Florida. And Mississippi State, I'm pretty sure, their game got canceled last week against Auburn, so they haven't played. When was their last game? Mississippi State's last game was against Vanderbilt, I'm pretty sure, which was also a very, very close game. I'm pretty sure that game finished 24-17. So these are two teams coming off of weak performances. I'd say that Mississippi State's performance against Vanderbilt was weak if you're only able to win that by 7. And obviously Georgia losing to Florida is a weak performance. This game's in Georgia. Georgia is still a very good football team, but I feel like the mood for the rest of the season will have shifted because they lose to Florida and they're really not playing for their goal anymore because they can't make the SEC championship. They can still, but it's not going to happen if we're looking at it realistically. They can't make a New Year's Six Bowl, in my opinion. It's a bit of a wash right now for Georgia the rest of the season from what their expectation was. Even though that the mood's changed and everything, I still think that Georgia out-talents Mississippi State in this game, so I am taking the Bulldogs in this one. Last up, 7:30 on SEC Alternate. I got from Columbia, South Carolina. The Missouri Tigers are visiting my South Carolina Gamecocks. And the big news story, I've said it, Will Muschamp is no longer the Gamecocks head coach. The head coach for this game is going to be a guy by the name of Mike Bobo, our offensive coordinator. He will be in as the intern head coach until we find someone. and that's probably for the rest of the season. Excuse me there. Missouri has actually been playing some pretty good football this year. I don't know if you guys have been watching. They're a team that's kind of slipped under the radar, but I'm pretty sure they're third or something in the SEC right now. They're 2-3. They beat LSU. They beat Kentucky. And who have they lost to? They lost to Alabama. They lost to Florida. And no, their game against Missouri last week got canceled. I can't remember who their third loss was to, but Missouri is actually playing some decent football, so don't underrate this team. Missouri comes in as 4-point favorites as the away team here. South Carolina, new head ball coach coming in Mike Bobo. I feel like that's going to energize the team and everything like that, because anytime you have a new coach, this is going to be Bobo's. He has 3 games to prove himself and everything as a head coach, and I think that his guys really want to rally around him here and just go out and win a game. They want to prove that they are still a good football program. South Carolina definitely has the talent on this team to win the game. It's just, how will the coaching do and how will the players react to Will Muschamp being fired is the big question in this one. I really like where South Carolina's at. That Will Muschamp is gone now. I think that we have the talent to definitely win this game. This game's at home. It's a night game. Willie B, even though it's not going to be full capacity, I really like night games at Willie B, even though this whole season it hasn't shown it. We just got our game scheduled against Georgia for 7:30. That's 5 games in a row that we're going to be playing at night, because we haven't won one this season. We haven't won one night game this season. We're undefeated playing noon games, but for some reason we keep wanting to play at night. So this game is at night. I think that the Gamecocks come away with it. We have the leading rusher in the SEC. If we can find Shi Smith more opportunities to get the ball in his hands and really get some other receivers going, like maybe Jalen Brooks, maybe like Josh Vann, Nick Muse, something like that, Dak Joyner. If we can get some more touches to some more guys and really just start spreading the ball around, I feel like the South Carolina Gamecocks can take control of this game. So give me the Gamecocks in this one. And that's my video for today, guys. Thank you so much for coming in. I appreciate it. Definitely subscribe for next week's video. Comment anything about SEC football, like the video, and thank you for watching, and definitely come back next time.